Hey, what's up guys, this is MugenLord here, and I know it's been a while since I talked about fighting games here on this channel, but recently I've been getting back into them, which means I had to do a lot of catching up when it comes to FGC events and what's been going on within the community itself. And I really wanted to dive into this video talking about Project L, since it was something that I was really curious about and was wondering how far in the development the game was, and apparently I didn't even know that the project even had an official name, and this name sounds kind of, I guess you would say, kind of odd for what kind of project that it is. So the name of the title is called 2XKO. It's no longer Project L, which is a weird kind of name because it doesn't really roll off the tongue when you have games like Marvel vs. Capcom, which you call MVC, you know, or if you have SNK versus Capcom, or Capcom versus SNK, you call it CVS. There's all kinds of ways. Dragon Ball Fighters, you know, DBFZ. You have all these different type of names, but 2XKO. And then the game is pretty much a fighting game based on the League of Legends IP. Now, if you guys don't know about League of Legends or the developers behind League of Legends, the developers is called Riot Games. These guys are synonymous with the MOBA genre, especially when it comes to the competitive industry and how well it pays its competitive players in the scene. And the FGC have always wanted to see fighting games pretty much get that same treatment that a lot of these other esport genres pretty much receive. And I think this is a perfect experiment to see how well that would translate now that Riot Games is trying to expand their catalogs of titles within different genres, which we have the MOBA, and then we have Valorant, which is first-person shooters, and now Riot Games wanted to go into fighting games, which I think is a pretty cool idea, since I'm not really a big MOBA guy, but I do like the designs of most of the League of Legends characters. So if they trying to get me to try a MOBA game, this may be the title they may want me to actually dive into the MOBA genre. So what's been going on as far as the title's concerned? For those of you guys who have no idea what this is, what have they updated about the game? For starters, the developers behind the games is pretty much a lot of FGC veterans, especially the Cannon brothers, the guys who are behind such big events such as EVO. The two brothers came together and put something as magnificent of that experience that has been around for almost over a decade. And now these guys have been recruited by Riot Games, and they have been put in charge with their expertise and knowledge of fighting games itself. And they gave them the League of Legends characters to pretty much broaden that user base, that audience, bring the fighting game fans over into the Riot game ecosystem. And that's what the Cannon brothers are essentially doing. And not only that, there's also other FGC veterans that are pretty much working into the game, like Clockwork and many others, who are helping the design and the gameplay mechanics for the game. So when it comes to 2XKO, the game is a 2v2, you know, fighter. It's a tag fighter. And if you guys don't know anything about the Cannon brothers and most of the FGC events, when it comes to fighting games, and especially more specifically EVO, you know, a lot of these players are really big into versus games. More specifically, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back in the day. It generated a shit ton of hype, and it's still, to this very day, fans are still playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And not only that, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had also received a resurgence now that we have a way to mod in different characters and everything like that. So Marvel vs. Capcom has pretty much left an impact on the fighting game community. So it only makes sense that 2XKO will still carry that same traditions, and this time now you can actually tag characters in and out, and it's also more free form, something that you would see in like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite when it comes to the tag feature, and also when you see Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, that also has a free form tag system that you can allow to switch your characters in and out at any point in time to be able to create these crazy long chain combos that pretty much generates a lot of hype, especially from a spectator point of view. And now we're going to be able to see this when it comes to the League of Legends characters. And this is going to be a big introduction. I think this is going to be a really big deal because I don't know anything as far as League of Legends is concerned. I only know the IP because it's plastered everywhere, but I don't know any of the characters personally, and I think this is a perfect way to actually get me into knowing these characters once the game releases, and especially with the ton of gameplay mechanics that they're adding in here, which is going to be nutty. And so far, a lot of prominent FGC members have also now have gotten their hands on it with some alpha builds that is able to play and had a chance to play the game, and they have said nothing but great things about this game. And now we have Evo Japan that's pretty much here. A lot of players that also has a lot of opportunities, especially the Japanese community, and I can't wait to see how the Japanese FGC and how they're going to handle this game, since this is more of a Western type of, I guess you would say, IP when it comes to League of Legends itself. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the East is going to take a hold and gravitate towards this game and see how it's explode. Now, when it comes to many different ways of how this game is going to be presented, how is it going to be released? As far as is it going to be digital? Is it going to be physical? Well, from what we understand, this game is actually going to be free to play. Now, I know that this is going to have a lot of people scratching their heads, and some people may even turn away from the fact that it's free to play. But Riot Games, in their approach, they wanted to go with a free to play fighting game model. And I don't know how they're going to release characters, and I don't know what they're going to do as far as monetization is concerned, or when it comes to cosmetics for the characters. We would have to wait and see, because they really don't have much as far as that's concerned when it comes to this project. But it's interesting to see how this is all going to develop and evolve. And also, you're able to sign up for 2XKO on their website in order to pretty much be able to get your hands on it, because we do have a at-home playtesting that's going to be coming up, I guess you say not too long after Evo Japan. So I'll post a link in the description below so you guys can sign up for yourself. And if you get lucky to get into the closed beta, because even with my luck, I never really have the opportunity to get into a lot of these closed betas, but let's see how this go. But I would definitely like to actually give this game a try when it comes to it. And also, the game also has some multiplayer features, 4 players. So 2 players on each side to be able to play. Something similar as you would see in like Street Fighter Cross Tekken or Tekken Tag Tournament. I think that's also pretty cool. And also Dead or Alive. I like to see more of that as well. And the thing that also has me curious, which one will be the main highlight? Will it be the 1v1 experience, you know, with one player versus the other player? Or will the competitive circuit will focus more so on the team play aspect, since League of Legends is a team-based game? Will they focus on it, or will there have 2 different divisions when it comes to singles and then doubles? And it'll be interesting to see how the doubles will essentially work and see that team synergy and some of the nutty combos and setups and strings that a lot of players will be able to put together. And I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see how this game is actually going to affect the FGC in general as a whole. Will this be a game that will pretty much put the FGC on the map in terms of how players are pretty much paid? Like I said, when it comes to MOBA titles or other parts of the, I guess you say, esports sector, most of the other games get pretty much treated a lot better as far as bringing in that crowd, bringing in that audience, and also paying its players some good income. And FGC kinds of struggle in that department. It seems like the FGC still can't figure out, you know, how they able to pretty much be as lucrative as something as League of Legends are concerned. So this would be a good case, a good experiment. And if the payout is really good, if Riot Games actually, when they promote this game, we actually get an actual tournament, I would love to see, will traditional players or the highly recognized FGC players from the FGC, I want to know if they're going to jump ship from games like Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8 just to come over to play 2XKO because of the payout or the pool on the prize pool. That'll be interesting. We don't know what the prize pool may be, but it's just I'm just out of curiosity, you know, especially knowing the track record that League of Legends have in the MOBA sector. Will they able to pretty much transition that over to the fighting game community or the fighting game industry itself? So that will remain to be seen. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about 2XKO when it comes to, you know, League of Legends now becoming a fighting game? Will this be your first introduction to the IP of League of Legends in general? I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you are a League of Legends player, let me know in the comment sections, what do you think of your favorite MOBA IP now becoming a fighting game? I definitely want to hear that other side of, I guess you would say, the discussion as well. So before I log out, definitely, if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord, signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.